You have heard the quote before, a messy room equals to a messy mind. How often do we find ourselves paralyzed by the mere state of our surroundings? Like the thought of sitting and overanalyzing everything that needs to be done, but somehow can't find the willpower to get up and get it done. Oftentimes we trick our mind into believing that there's order or even organization in the mess we're surrounded in. Because honestly, it's easier to accept that than the truth. And the truth is, it is time for a change. Now, if I'm being honest, I do at times struggle with laziness and procrastination, but there's now a difference in how I tackle them. Before, I would tell myself I like the rush of working on the pressure, but what I failed to realize was the constant anxiety leading up to that moment of rush, or the negative thoughts or guilt that surfaces because I know I could do better, which then spirals down into self-pity, low energy, and the need to not wanting to accomplish anything. Then the toxicity enters the room. Now the moment someone says, "Hey, don't you want to clean that?" or "Hey, don't you want to get that done?" it creates a defiant spirit within me, which leads me to lashing out. Then feeling guilty for lashing out, which then leads to me taking a nap so I don't have to own up to my guilt. And most importantly, if I sleep, then I don't have to think about the things that's needed to be done. And the cycle continues. So what can we do to shift your mindset? Number 1, prayer. In the Bible, Jesus speaks about how we should be persistent in our prayer and that we should bring our needs to God. Before, I used to shy away or feel defeated in areas in my life that shows my weakness. But then I remember what Jesus said to Paul in 2 Corinthians 12 verses 9 to 10. "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." Then Paul said, "Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly about my weakness, so that Christ's power may rest on me." And that verse goes well with, "Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your soul. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." Matthew 11:28-30. These verses really open my eyes and remind me that there's power in prayer. So the area in your life that you're struggling with, go to God in prayer and ask Him to help you overcome it. Then let go and give Him control so you can see His power at work in your life. Number 2, change what you consume. Matthew 6 verses 22 says, "The eye is the lamp of the body," which simply means that it is important to guard what you look at and to focus on the things that align with God's will. Have this ever happened to you, where you're watching a home renovation show or a cooking video, and then strangely afterwards you have the urge to want to clean or to make or order a similar cuisine that you just watched? That's the power of influence and consumption. So what if now you let what you consume work in your favor instead of against you? Read or watch things that will help you overcome the things in your life that you struggle with. Listen to things that will encourage you to do better and become better, because you owe that much to yourself. Number 3, get organized. One of the main keys to stay consistent with this new version of yourself that you're striving for is to become more organized. Working in chaos will only bring out more doubt and negative self-belief in yourself. So get organized. The clearer your mind is, the more you are able to be consistent in this new version of yourself. Creating a recurring weekly list, plan your day out before it begins, knowing what you have to accomplish for the day leaves less room for thinking and more doing. Because oftentimes we leave room for thinking, we start to ask or convince ourselves that this doesn't have to be done, or you can just put it off till another day. And before you know it, nothing gets done, and guilt and self-doubt kicks in. So get organized instead. And remember, a failure to plan is a plan to fail. Proverbs 20 verse 4 says, But those too lazy to plow in the right season will have no fruit at harvest. So decide that today will be the day you get organized and get yourself and home in order so that in the end you will reap the benefit of it. Number 4. Start finding solutions instead of focusing on the problem. A mind shift starts by shifting your focus. To have a better mindset, you have to stop focusing so much on the negative aspect of yourself and more so on how you can change or overcome them. Acknowledging the issue or problem you have is the first step in resetting your mindset. Now comes problem solving. I know I have this issue or I struggle with these things. How can I now break the toxic cycle to become better? So you identify the problem, you ask yourself the questions, got solution. Now comes the action. Remember, nothing can be changed if you don't take action. All your focus now should be set on actively doing the solution that will make you better. Now, at some point, doubt, laziness, and procrastination will creep back in. This is where you'll need to give yourself some grace, because change doesn't happen overnight. New habits aren't built instantly. So if you fail to focus on your solution today, try again tomorrow. It is better to try again than to give up altogether. Slow and steady win the race. And remember, baby steps are still steps. Love you guys and be blessed. Talk again soon.